Hello, hello for all the folks who are going to join us now, who are with us now, who will join us later. This is Tell Me Tuesday. As you know, we do Tell Me Tuesday to have an opportunity to share live things that are happening in our agency, to connect with folks who are connected to our agency with the work that we do. I am Courtney Jones. I've almost gotten used to saying president and CEO, but I'm excited to say it. Let me not say it like I'm saying. And so super, super excited. I'm excited because I have a homie hanging out. Well, all of them have been homies, but I have a special homie hanging out with me today. I have Miss Porsche Jones. I am going to let her introduce herself and share whatever she wants to share. I will tell you that there's a reason why we are talking in our connection, and I'll get into that. But first, I want Miss Porsche to tell y'all who she is.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you, Courtney, for the invite. So as she mentioned, my name is Porsche Jones. I'm the Health Services Manager at Novant Health. Jack of all trades, entrepreneur, amongst other things, but here today to spend time with Courtney to talk about the opportunities from a Novant Health standpoint and a Big Brother standpoint. So happy to be here.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, Porsche is like Jack of all the trades. So we are talking today. We were able to, Big Brothers was able to partner with Porsche in one of her entities last year, but we are excited because, and you know, I'm sitting here thinking Ken did not let us know if no, that's next week.
Next week. Next week.
Ken, if you watch this, you're going to fuss me out because I did not invite you, and I just realized I should have invited you.
It's Courtney's fault, not mine.
It's my fault. Dang it. Ken Pettigrew, Executive Director of the YMCA Reach Center at Winston Lake. I have to think about that every time I get ready to say it. Okay, so here's the deal. Everybody, I think, knows that the Winston Lake Y went through a renovation. And a huge part of that was putting a healthcare center in Winston Lake Y. And so hence the Reach Center is what that's about. And so, you know, those of us who've been in Winston or are from Winston affectionately know the Y as the Winston Lake Y. And so that's why I have to think about it. Like, wait, it's the Reach Center. Like, wait, no, the YMCA Reach Center. I get all the words in the right order. And so anyways, one of the things that has happened as a part of that renovation, as I said, is getting this healthcare center. And I think that, again, we'll get to the event, but we're bringing access to healthcare in East Winston.
Absolutely.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so that's been a topic of a lot of conversation. I think there has been a voice that has been heard. We've done a lot of listening sessions. We've come to the table to listen to a lot of our partners, a lot of our churches. And so we wanted to meet people where they are. Bring access to care to the communities that need them the most. And so one of the most exciting things, this is an area that I grew up in. So being able to advocate and empower our community to serve them in the ways that they need it the most is beyond gratifying to see it come to life. From a Novant Health standpoint, we're excited to not only offer free health screenings for the community, but to take it a step further and have primary care opportunities right here in the heart of Winston-Salem, where people can take a bus route, they can get dropped off, there's access to transportation opportunities, and so that clinic has already opened full service. So we have providers there. There's opportunities for our bilingual community members, and so, you know, I think we hear what is being said. I think we're meeting the people where we are and creating some equity opportunities for the communities.
And I want to name, even before the center was up and running, there was a cruiser coming there to provide screenings and service. So kudos to Novant. This isn't new.
Correct.
The touch in that part of our community has been in the works for a couple years, right?
Yes, I would say a couple years. We have a partnership with the Northwest YMCAs, and so not only do we do free, health screenings and free education series at each branch, but this is a primary location where we felt that there was an extreme need based on the zip code.
Gotcha.
And so we want people to find this as their their healthcare home. There's additional resources and opportunities that will be available at the Reach Center.
Okay.
I think there's different nonprofits who will have this as their home as well. And so what better way to be at a hub in the community where you can come and almost get a one-stop shop.
Like X-ray and everything, right?
X-ray, full service, full family, men, women, children. So we are here to serve.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think we know, particularly in Black and brown communities, getting them to trust the healthcare system.
Absolutely.
And the why has always been, I've been in Winston 20 plus years, so people think I'm from Winston, and I'm not, but I've been here so long. But as long as I've been here, I've known the Winston Lake why to be, not just a place where people worked out, but also just like the seniors, our kind of older
Absolutely.
population, like coming and sitting and having coffee.
Oh,
and, and then the younger generation going and playing basketball tournaments happening there.
Absolutely.
So literally, like, it is a intergenerational spot. So to have healthcare that can serve all the generations is amazing.
Yeah. And we typically hear certain populations or pockets of people get more service than others, where you may see more opportunities for the senior population. But we have been very creative in understanding what the needs are and meeting every single population and making it easy. So I would say take the time to come by the Reach Center, see that clinic.
Do you have to be a member of the Y to go get care at the Reach Center?
Very good question. You do not have to be a member of the Y to receive care at this particular clinic.
Okay.
We welcome all.
Sweet. So you said something a little bit ago, and I'm not in the healthcare world.
Okay.
And I've heard the term, and I'm not sure if I know what it means, so you can help me and help everybody.
Sure.
When you say health assessment, what does that mean?
So it could mean a number of things. In this case, I think what you're referring to, we have the opportunity on July 19th. We have a Triad Health Fest that we're very excited about. LabCorp has partnered with Novant Health, and so we'll be doing free health screenings for adults. We'll be doing health assessments and childhood immunizations for children for free. When you hear the word health assessments, sometimes people can get that confused with sports physicals and health assessments. In this particular case, the health assessments will be hearing and vision screenings.
Okay.
Typically what our students need to go back to school. So there's a certain amount of vaccines that you need in order to start at a certain grade level, as well as those health assessments. And so we wanted to create an opportunity to meet every single population where they were, check out the box that you need before you start back to school.
Okay.
And so those health assessments are something that we're excited about. Okay. That's a part of our service line that we're starting to launch more.
Not the sports physical.
It is not the sports physical. So if you come to us, we have some back to school events. We have some great opportunities for the complete family, but we will not be offering sports physicals.
Gotcha.
We will be offering health assessments and child vaccines for those students.
And so you mentioned the 19th. That is the opportunity we have to partner.
That's it.
We serve families across all of Winston and Forsyth County. And so, and we, to include youth in East Winston, we have a partner school in East Winston. And so we get to partner with Novant. So Novant is coming and saying, we are going to offer these wonderful health opportunities, access to health care.
Absolutely.
Opportunities for, and it's not limited to that side of town, like folks who live there, but that's where we're going to be.
Absolutely.
But then there's also going to be, because we know one of the best ways to get people to come to something is to give them something.
Absolutely.
And so we're super excited to partner both with Novant and Bond Cares to be able to do a back to school giveaway.
Yeah.
And so we're planning for every child. So there's a registration and there's information on our Facebook page, on our to get information. There's different pieces of information out. But I'm going to come back to because you said another buzzword that I want to come back to for the health side. But for the kids who register, they're going to get a book bag filled with school supplies.
Right.
And then because Bond is amazing, and let me plug, we would love some donations of school supplies. Come drop them off right here.
Absolutely.
But Bond is amazing. And so one of the things that's a big deal is how kids come to school on the first day.
Right.
And so how is Bond making that be an amazing thing for kids?
Yeah, so Courtney touched on a few things. Bond is an organization, nonprofit organization I started about 15 years ago. And we use basketball as our platform to teach kids about SMART goals, SAT prep, leadership development, truly how to navigate the next step as a student athlete. Me being a former student athlete playing basketball at Wake Forest, there was so much that I wasn't prepared for mentally before I went to college. And so I wanted to take my experiences, the things, the do's and the don'ts, if you will. We help the parents, we help the children, and really understand maybe you don't go to the professional level, but you can have opportunities to take what basketball can teach you, soft skills and hard skills about structure and development and taking constructive criticism and goal setting and be a productive adult. And one of the facets that I'm very proud about as far as Bond Cares is the back to school opportunity. This is our second year in. Last year, as Courtney mentioned, we partnered with Big Brother, Big Sister under the leadership of Shawan. And you guys have been a great partner. One of the most important things I remember from growing up is how excited I would be getting ready for the first day of school. And as you may know, born and raised here in Winston, reared by my grandparents, Dr. and Robert Mandolin Scales. So love them, always will plug them in. But I was always prepared. There was never a moment that I can remember as I was growing up preparing to be successful in school that I did not have what I need.
Wow.
And so often, so many children, our families, do not have the access to have what they need. And so this is a day where we come together. We take donations, gently used clothes or shoes, brand new clothes and shoes, to not only do a basic back-to-school event where they have the notebooks, the pens, the papers, the book bag, but they actually have a brand new outfit.
Yeah.
Something that makes them feel confident and make them feel good about starting a new journey with their new school year.
Yeah.
And so I think from a healthcare standpoint, there's an opportunity, but from an overall community standpoint of how we bridge the gap and pull everything together, so many of us just need basic love.
Yes.
And so this is an opportunity to have a clinical component to meet the needs of the families while they are in our presence, but to bring them out as if a one-stop shop. You get everything you need to start your first day of school with confidence, and then you actually can learn about your healthcare needs. We can do the free screening assessments, which I'm sure you're going to tap on that for the adults. So we have something for every population that shows up. And so I'm very excited about what Bond has become in the community, the opportunities to partner with nonprofits like Big Brother, Big Sister, where we share very similar mission, vision, and values.
Yes.
And so so often we'll see nonprofits maybe work in silos.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited about all the different vendors and the nonprofit opportunities and the different sectors that are coming together to really lock arms with the mission that we have for this community. And so I think July 19th will be just one of many days that we can partner together. So excited to see it all become reality.
Yeah, and I do want to plug Ken Pettigrew again.
Absolutely.
As the director over there. So he's going to have staff who can do tours, because again, it's not just the Reach Center that's the new part, like the whole Y was
Absolutely.
renovated, with the exception of they maintained the wall. Like I think that was
Yes.
beautiful, that in all of the kind of changes and redo, there's like I don't know, does the wall have like a name? It's just kind of the mural of.
Yeah, I would just say, I guess that's a tribute to Mo Lucas and his impact.
Yeah.
And so out of all the renovations, it's a beautiful facility, well thought out, well executed. I think those members that come back into the Reach Center at Winston Lake will enjoy it. And I think they kept that component of the culture of what Winston Lake has always been with the wall for Mo Lucas.
I love that wall not having been touched. I think there would have been
a little bit of
dissatisfaction,
dissatisfaction.
but they
100%.
still, like, the pool's back open, like they've did like a soft open. So again, you don't have to be a member of the Y to attend our event on the 19th, which is going to start at 9:00 and go until 2. I kind of said this earlier, but there is a registration, but it's not required.
Correct.
So I want to scoot back to the health screenings.
Yes.
again, one of those words where I ain't in the healthcare community.
Sure.
And I don't know not just what the screening means, but what happens, like what am I getting from it and what's next. And so because this event is for everybody, I want to make sure we don't lose that piece too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the important thing about access to care is that there's so many different needs. And one of the things that we feel like is an important need in our community is education on your diabetes, education on blood sugar. Well, we call it sugar diabetes.
The sugar diabetes.
But there is a professional technical health term to there.
That you might hear in the doctor's office.
Yes. So we want to focus on your hemoglobin A1C.
Okay.
There's also opportunities with this free health screening provided by LabCorp where there will be some kidney screenings as well.
Okay.
And so as we think about the impact of what we eat, what we drink, what we put into our bodies, sometimes we don't know it until we see the residue of it physically showing. And so this is very important to really know, what are your numbers? What are some things that you can do to be proactive, to prevent issues from taking place, life-changing issues. And so Novant and LabCorp, we have worked well together. I'm so excited about that partnership. We have done, I think, one event in Charlotte that was a great success. And so now we're bringing this opportunity into the Triad region. And so LabCorp will be providing the health screenings for adults, which would include the hemoglobin A1C, the glucose, and the kidney screening.
Now, how they going to get that information?
Yeah. So there is a part of the process where the patient has to give a little blood.
Okay.
Okay. So it won't be strenuous. It's not a full blood panel.
Okay.
But there will be a blood draw.
Okay.
Okay. And so the information will be given at that moment.
Oh, wow.
So you don't have to wait to hear back from a provider at a later date. We'll have nurses, we'll have physicians on board with us on that particular day. A plug here, we'll have the opportunity to meet the doc, if you will. So the new clinic that's opening up at the Reach Center, we'll have providers and nurses that will be working in that clinic, so you can meet the people who you potentially will be able to, be your providers. So all of that to say, the opportunities to provide free access to care.
And knowledge and information.
Knowledge and information is timeless. It's free. And we are hoping that if you tell your sister, you tell your brother, you tell your mother, you tell your uncle, that's 4 lives.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if those 4 lives can take the information that they have and share it with their church members, share it with their sororities, share it with their fraternities, that's more trickle-down information that impacts the community. So we get 4 people to sign up, we expect 4 more people to be educated. And so that's kind of the goal for this particular event. I think also, if you come, let's say you bring your 2 beautiful children with you, Courtney, you do your health screening with LabCorp. Your children can get their back to school supplies. They get a nice free outfit, a pair of shoes, and then they also can get their childhood vaccines if they need them. They can also get their health assessments, and this is at no charge.
Wow.
And so this is the opportunity. I think that we need more of these opportunities to serve the community. So very excited.
And no insurance needed. Literally free.
No insurance needed. Literally free.
That's awesome. And so if I get my numbers, how do I know if my numbers are good? And if they're not good, is somebody going to tell me what to do?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So part of our process is why we do it kind of what we say in the live environment. We give you real-time results.
Okay.
So you'll have some information. There's opportunities where we can potentially make referrals for you at that moment. And so you'll walk away understanding the information that has been provided to you. You'll know your numbers with some tips and tricks and different things that you can do to incorporate a healthier lifestyle.
And, because we are who we are.
Yes, we are.
The information does not equal a diagnosis.
100%.
Okay.
So the important thing about a screening is that it is not a diagnosis.
Okay.
Right? So this is just real-time numbers based on, could be what you've eaten or drink in the last 24 hours. Those things could be important. And so we'll have nurses there to kind of walk through your results. We'll ask you those types of questions.
Okay.
We'll see if you have fasted. So those types of opportunities will be available. Absolutely.
So, again, we're looking at an intergenerational opportunity that's going to like meet everybody, and from so many different aspects. We've talked about social drivers of health.
Yes.
And so, someone's physical health, their mental health. If I am walking around not knowing how I'm going to get my kids school supplies, that can affect my mental health, which will end up affecting my physical health.
Absolutely.
Which, it just becomes a thing. And so, again, a part of why I think you're amazing, so I'm happy that you let us tag along.
Sure.
But two, I just love what we're doing.
Absolutely.
And being able to be a part of that, I think is huge. And I'm hoping that, because we're including our families and inviting them, I'm hoping that we get some volunteers that see, hey, this is an opportunity to have an impact, and see that if Big Brothers is able to connect in the community in this way, again, building off of what we did last year with Bond, and then now we get to add Novant. And Big Brothers has been in this community for 48 years. Sure. And so to be able, and we've had some Novant folks on our board before. Yeah. So we ain't new to this partnership.
You are true to this.
We are true to
Absolutely.
this. We are coming back. So I am excited and thankful for the opportunity for us to be able to lock arms with Novant, with Bond, with the Reach. The YMCA Reach Center
at Winston Lake.
Winston Lake.
Get it right.
I got to get all the words out. I just want to
right.
say the Reach Center, but I'm but then everybody doesn't know that's the Y.
That's not technically the name. So
yeah, the YMCA. I got to the point where I would go Google it, because that's how I needed to see it. I need to see all the words in order, so that's literally where my mind goes. The YMCA
That's
Reach
it.
Center. So at Winston Lake, we get all that out. So July 19th, the one thing we didn't talk about is kind of all of the ways that you can get involved, right? So July 18th is going to be our day of caring. And so beginning at 4:00 on July 18th, folks can volunteer to come meet us over at the YMCA Reach Center at Winston Lake.
Yes, ma'am.
From 4 to 7 to help us set up and so there's information to register to volunteer. And so again, if you check our website, you'll see all the flyers. We'll repost the flyer today that has QR codes for all the things. Okay. And so volunteering on that day, we take all age volunteers. I know some of y'all Crosby scholars out here need some hours during the summer.
Absolutely.
This is a good way to head start. And then on the 19th, the day of the event, so starting at 7:30 in the morning, folks can volunteer. There's different opportunities.
Absolutely.
So I would say up until 2:30, 3 o'clock when we're breaking down, because the event is from 9 to 2. So plenty of volunteer opportunities on that day.
Absolutely.
Love to have, you can work shifts. We've got it pretty easy. And then donations. So donating money, supplies, shoes, clothes, gently used if they're not brand new. Gently, again, remember what the goal is to boost the child's confidence.
Absolutely.
So you want to be thoughtful about that. But so donations. And then also, we are also opening up to community partners. Yeah. So there are some organizations that are connected to youth and adults and all the things in our community. And so we'll have 20 to 25 different community partners. So it's also going to be, again, back to information, because there's stuff happening in our city and county that we don't know.
Absolutely.
There's opportunity. If you are a believer of the Lord Jesus Christ, there's going to be somebody to pray with your kid before they go back to school.
Absolutely.
So this ain't a church event, but the church will be present if that's what you need. We have a lot of great opportunities. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be great. Yeah. I'm really hoping that I think we've talked about having a goal of serving 300 plus families.
Yeah.
Last year we did well over that.
Yeah, so last year I think we were not really prepared. We really had a great event, but we were not logistically prepared for
the magnitude
what actually happened. And I think this year we were very thoughtful on presenting a good product to the community. Last year we served over 470 students. So not all 470 students got a pair of shoes, but we gave out every single thing that we had.
Yeah.
And so we had from Nikes to Jordans to...
And there were some things for adults, too.
Yeah,
like we had some clothes for adults. And
for some of the parents. I mean, we had a little bit of everything. And so we take the time to go through what is donated. I've gotten boxes and boxes of things already donated that I've already washed, and shoes.
We've got jeans.
I do have a plug here. My first cousin, Josh Howard, last year he sent a bag of maybe like 5 bags of clothes from Texas.
Wow.
They all didn't come in time because the bags were so big.
Wow.
And so this year I'm excited. We have most of all of the donations, and the important part about the registration process, I do want to plug this in. We will not turn people away, but it's very important that the families and the children are registered so that we know exactly what they need.
Yeah.
We know their exact sizes, their shoe sizes, their clothes sizes, to help the process be as seamless as possible. Yeah. And then once you register, you'll get an email to get the Novant flyer with the opportunities to do your health screenings and your health assessments.
Yeah.
So I think we have done a good job of working together and connecting the dots. I know from a Novant standpoint, our leadership team is extremely excited.
That's awesome.
I think they will be there in full force.
That's awesome.
To be present in the community and to see the work that we're doing in the Triad area. We have a ton of work to do. But I think the important part is we are here and we're committed to doing the work.
Yeah. And one last plug. It's going to be a fun day.
It is.
Because we are going to be hosted by the DJ Tony Tone, Antonio Davis.
Yes. Scribble.
Yeah. Like, he is amazing, knows how to get the party started.
Absolutely.
For all you Greek folks, he's an alpha man. He's a Winston-Salem State grad, former WXII employee. And he has a whole like media business, photography, DJ, and like he's like a whole like media person. But yeah, he will make sure that there isn't a dry moment.
Absolutely.
And we love Tony. In fact, when we talked to Tony about doing it, he made sure that I had the conversation with him. You let Porsche know I'm only doing it because she asked me to. Whatever gets it there, like
you gotta love Tony.
Tony.
You gotta love Tony. Tony's been taking care of me when I first started buying. Like,
wow.
Literally, I think he made my first flyer for my first camp.
Wow.
So yeah, me and Tony go way back.
Way back.
Way back.
He's been my friend a long time. I call him one of my BFFs, one of my male BFFs. So shout out to you,
important.
Tony.
That's important.
Have
Big
both.
shout out to Tony.
Big shout out to Tony. So, all right. Well, Miss Jones.
Yes.
No relation. Technically, but you know, it is. We were somewhere and they're like, Courtney,
we all family.
What's your last name? Jones too. Like we. This is us. So, anything I missed that we want to make sure we plug before we wrap up?
No, very excited about the opportunity. I will say we have 80 slots available for our health screening, our adult health screening. We want those slots to be filled. We will accept walk-ins, but we do want people to get pre-registered. Courtney has the flyer, the information will be posted. We can share it as well.
Yes.
If you have any questions, most of you know who I am. You can reach out to me. But we want to see you guys turn out. We want you guys to be present. We had the opportunity to present to the Panhellenic Council, which is very cool. They actually fed us. But we want the community, our Greek life, our sororities, our fraternities. Shameless plug, but always going to plug. I am a part of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
You are.
And so I'm expecting us to show out in great numbers and to impact our youth in a way that could be life-changing.
Yeah.
And the more that they see us being successful, being connected, and grabbing hold to them, I think the more opportunities they will have. So.
And it's got to be the same way we are trying to teach youth how to honor and figure out what to do with leadership, policemen.
Absolutely.
We got to teach them how to connect with the healthcare world.
Yeah.
Because there's just because their parents don't know, and their parents, and understandable because there has been a lot of ill treatment from a healthcare perspective, and you've got a person that looks like you right now looking and telling you, we're paying attention, and like not just access to care, but quality care, and equitable care.
100%. 100%.
So I just want to name my respect to Novant for being intentional, particularly in such a charged environment right now.
Sure.
But being very intentional about equitable care, access to care, meeting people where they are.
Absolutely.
That's super important. So kudos to you. I don't know when you're going to sleep because, as you said, there's a lot
Sunday.
of work.
Sunday. My day of sleep is Sunday.
Okay,
after church.
good. So see, you take care of yourself as well, right?
I try to. Health as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like we have one body, one temple, and we have to do what's best for it when we have it. So
You gonna come
make
this way
sure,
one time.
make sure you come out July 19th.
July 19th.
Learn your numbers, know exactly what you
Yes.
need, get you some free opportunities, get you some shoes and clothes for your babies going back with
babies.
confidence. Also, you can volunteer to be a big.
Please volunteer to be a big. We need bigs. We have over 150 youth waiting. So we're doing what we can to be in schools and all the good things, but yeah, it's a wait. So,
All right.
Well, thank you to everybody. I did not shout out my vice chair of the board, which I normally do at the beginning, but Adam Witten, again, as long as y'all see this setup, you can rest assured it wasn't me. It's
Yeah.
definitely Adam.
The voice of App State.
Woo. I almost think I say it just for the clout of being I know the voice of App State.
It is very important.
You have to be let me just drop.
That's important.
Let me name drop a little bit.
Being the voice of anything is important.
Board. So thank you, Adam, for hooking us up as usual, and happy Father's Day to Adam. He has 2 beautiful three. I got to meet 2 of the 3. The third one was too cool to come to, he was not coming to hang out.
He was chilling.
I got to meet the younger 2, and they were super cute. Listen, his kids must be the best kids ever. I'm talking about him like he's not sitting there right now. But I had Rice Krispies treats, this big, and I was thinking I was doing something special. Is it okay if I offer you? He's like, don't be surprised if they
don't take
want
it.
And they looked at him no, thank
That's
you.
processed food. We don't eat that.
I was like, what is he doing with these
where's
kids?
the fruits and vegetables?
What kid turns down Rice Krispie treat? Daddy is the one who took it at the end.
Oh my God,
So
that's hilarious.
I don't know what he doing in his house. What you doing in your house, Adam? But your kids didn't want the treat.
That's
Who
it.
does not eat Rice
The
Krispies?
smart babies.
I was like, I need to work on my parenting because my kid would have been and let me have the whole thing.
Is there another one?
Right.
Bring out the second one.
So, whilst his kids are eating healthy, I'm over here feeding Rice Krispies treats. But here we go.
100%.
So, thank you, Adam. Thank you for being such a great dad.
Thank you, Adam.
So, all right, everybody. Thank y'all. Thank you for joining. Please share. Please go look at our flyer. Volunteer, all the things, because this is for us, for our community. So, and thank you, Portia, for hanging out
You're
with me.
welcome, Courtney. Thank you for the invite.
Thank you.
See y'all.
Thanks.
Bye.